you've decided to use Problematic for your Canvas quizzes, which is a great resource. It includes all of the state standardized assessments for math, English, science, and social studies for the past, I don't know how many years. It also includes Common Core standards, Oklahoma standards, Virginia, North Carolina, New York Regents exams, a whole slew of questions in various different subjects. So I'm going to, once I get logged in, if you need help logging in, get a hold of your ETS. We can make sure you get signed up with a good account. And then once you get that process done, then you have full access to everything in Problematic. And it's a really easy export to create your questions from Problematic and import them into a Canvas quiz. So we get in here, we get your account set up. I'm going to use the Texas released ELA questions as example. So I click on my ELA questions. Now I've got quite a few banks up here. I've got one here that I have 0 problems in. You are going to create a new question bank and just give it a name up here. And I would strongly suggest you see my question bank is listed as T2.3. That correlates with my module in Canvas where it says T2.3 example questions. So I would make your question bank in Problematic correlate with whatever module name you're using in Canvas. So go ahead and name yourself a new question bank, create a new one, and it's going to have 0 questions in it. Now, this is the first 7 questions of this all use the same reading prompt. You can see the questions here. It gives me the PDF reading prompt here. I've been through this already. You will just be exploring which ones use the same prompt. This is the vacation exaggeration. Okay, this is the reading prompt for the first 7 questions. Now we're going to be going through this here. I'm going to actually save this reading prompt on my desktop. And I think I've already got it from doing this before. Yep, reading resource term 2.3, there it is. So I've already got this saved on my computer. You're going to do the same thing. Just save the reading prompt, and then we can go through and we can add questions to our question bank. Now, a couple of these other options here. You've got the PDF. We were just in that. You can edit your questions. If there's a typo or if you don't like how it's worded, you can always edit it to reflect correctly. Then the add button is to add it to your question bank. You see it slide away there. If you want to come back to it, you have your favorites, different categories of favorites right there. The information tells you what test it was on. This was the 2018 reading. And then you can flag it for later use as well. Or if you think there's a problem, you can select there's an error, typo, problem doesn't belong in this category, etc. It also has the TEAK available right here. Now, certain subjects, you can actually search by questions based on the TEAK out of the state assessment exams, which is a fantastic resource. So I'm just going to add a couple of these to my first question bank here. So I'm going to have 4. So this is 4 problems going into part 1 of my exam, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. Okay? So I'm going to then go to Arrange. And this allows me to drag and drop and rearrange. I can create a new problem. I can add a part. So if I had like another reading example, another PDF that was a different one, I can make that a part 2. So part 1 has this PDF, part 2 has the next PDF, so on and so forth. I can also scramble, so it randomly organizes the questions. I don't need to do that here. We can actually do that within Problematic, depending on which way you go about it. Or within Canvas quizzes, depending on which way you go about it. Okay. Format. This is basically the format, how the document is laid out. If you were to print this as an actual physical copy, you can do that. It provides you the reading prompt, it provides you the questions, and it provides you the answer key. Now, the questions you can change a little bit here. You notice what happens here where I have A, B, C, and D. If I optimize down, it switches. Now A and B is vertical, C and D is vertical, whereas across is A and B is horizontal. So you can kind of format it like the STAR test like that. You can change the fonts and the headers and the template of it, all of those things. So you can noodle around in here until you figure out which formatting situation you like the best. Then you have the Make the PDF button, which basically formats it. Like I said, here's your reading prompt. Then it gives you your questionnaire sheet and then your answer key. So you can print this out as a PDF, download it. You can share it with students as a PDF, however you see fit. If you do the share with students, you could add it to a OneNote class notebook, no problem. The present button is actually a really cool new feature. It allows you to present the questions. So if I hit launch presentation, example T2.3 question bank, and it gives you a barcode down here. Students can scan the barcode and follow along on their mobile device. And then everybody would have a printout of the reading. And then everybody can take the questions or circle the questions on their paper at the same time. So it sort of moves the class through the quiz all at the same time. It's a very handy feature. Let me end that real quick. Then you have the export. Now this is where I really like, because this has become super easy. I'm going to export this as a Canvas quiz. Then we're going to select the course. Now before I hit the down button here, just know that I have a lot of courses in here. So I'm going to go to my course that I'm using as an example. Please ignore all of the other ones. Nick Miller Instructional Design, that's the example course I'm using. And that's the title of my quiz, Example Question Bank. Now, I'm also going to use Migrate to New Quiz because everything in Canvas is moving to the new quiz, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to hit my Export to Canvas button. Now, this might take a few minutes, so I'm going to cut the video here, and it'll tell you can navigate away from the screen and all that stuff here in a little bit. But I'm going to cut the video here, and I'm going to pick back up in my Canvas course. Okay, so here I am picking back up in my Canvas course. And I'm going to go straight to my quizzes, where my quiz imports directly to. It goes straight to my quizzes area. Here it is, Example Question Bank. It's already imported. It's already there waiting for me. What I'm going to do first is modify the parameters of the quiz before I add it to a module or do anything like that. First things first, I'm going to set it to 100 points. I would set my assignment group here, your Term 1, Term 2, daily, major grade, etc., all of that stuff. Go through and set that here. And if you're somebody who syncs your grades to Skyward, I would strongly suggest you hit the Sync to SIS button. Now we're going to build our quiz. Okay? Now, I only have one reading example in here. So whenever I add instructions, I could very well add that PDF in here. No, I don't want the user documents. I want upload a document, upload a file, and right here is my reading resource. I could just as easily upload the PDF here, submit, and now the PDF shows up as a link. Students click that link, it opens up the reading tab, they come back, they answer the questions, etc., etc. If you have multiple reading prompts, then what you would do up here is you would hit the plus button and you would add a stimulus question. So this would be reading prompt 1, read the passage and answer the following questions. And here's where you would add your content. I'm going to use my 3 dots, and it's the same process. Upload a document, and here is the document. Submit. There we are. And my document is now uploaded right there. So again, they click on it, it opens the separate tab, they read the document, they answer the questions. Now it says here, orientations, questions to the right. That's over this way. I'm going to click Done first, so it creates the stimulus question. And then where it says Attach Question, instead I'm just going to move my little handles here and drag and drop the questions up to the stimulus. It might ask you if you want to merge and copy and all that other stuff. Go ahead and click OK on that if it does ask you. It may not, because we're just rearranging questions. And now, this is question 1 overall, and question 1 has 1, 2, 3, 4. Down here, you would add another stimulus question, just like the parts, when you have part 1, part 2 in problematic. Now you'd be creating your parts. You would have another stimulus with another example reading, so on and so forth. Now, once this is done, I hit the return button. I make sure my example quiz is published. I go back to my modules, and I simply add my quiz to my module. Now you notice everything here is like all kinds of alphabetized, organized, categorized, and all that stuff. my assignments T1, T1.2, T1.2, Friday, Thursday, T1.5, Monday. I have everything organized like that so that I can go straight to T2.3 example question bank. Add item, and there it is. Now, on the student side of this, I can come up here and view a student. And we go down to my module here, example question bank. And now I'm acting as a student in this quiz. I hit begin, and this is what it would look like for students. This is precisely how students would see this quiz. All right, reading prompt 1, read the passage and answer the following questions. There's the passage. So here we are. Here's all of my passage. I read through this thoroughly. Okay, and you could provide this as a hard copy to students too. That's just fine. You can print this as a PDF. That's all it is, no issues. So they read the passage, and then they go through here 1, 2, 3, and 4. Answer the questions. It's that simple. That is how to set up a problematic quiz in Canvas. The quiz is already generated. The reading prompts are already generated. Math, science, social studies, same exact situation. It is a wonderful tool. I strongly encourage the use of problematic. Like I said, if you have any questions about getting into problematic, reach out to your campus ETS. We are more than happy to help. Oh, this is one more thing. It hooks up to the SpeedGrader, so if you need to give any feedback or free-form answers, SpeedGrader works too. Okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody, and I hope you got something out of this. That was a question bank or quiz out of problematic.